Welcome to the Crypto Ninja channel. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Okay, the lighting just got much better. I was kind of wondering what was going on right there. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. I'm just making sure that my sound is working, so give me a second to test that. Okay, sound is good. We should be good. Bitcoin right now is I'm really watching for Bitcoin to hold $93,800 and then hopefully get the bounce to the upside. I do have my stop loss at that level. I made a Bitcoin update earlier today talking about that price level and why we had to hold it. I found a new YouTube channel where Bookmap is showing, so I can also show you where the liquidity is at to the upside and to the downside. And to me, if we can hold 93.8, it makes me very bullish for a move up to 100K. I have a measured move of 100K, and Bookmap also suggests we have a lot more liquidity at $100,000 than down here at 95K. Which is higher than where we are right now. But right now, I've seen more liquidity to the upside than to the downside for Bitcoin. So let's get into all of that right now. If you guys are new, appreciate it. If you hit the follow button, subscribe button. If you guys are on YouTube, make sure you hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I post a video or go live. If you guys would like to join my Discord, click the watermark at the right-hand corner of the screen, and we will go from there. We're live on YouTube and on TikTok. I'm going to share my screen now so you can see what's going on. I go live every single Monday and every single Saturday at 11 p.m. Central Time, so hopefully I'll see you guys here from now on. Right now, according to Bookmap, the fear greed is at 61, so we are in greed right now, slight greed by a few points. I think anything above 60 is greed, so something to be cognizant of. I don't really care unless you're above 90 or below 10, or really I would say above 80 or below 20. There's nothing to really worry about. But right now, it's something to be cognizant of. At 61, to me, I feel like the market's more neutral than anything, but Bitcoin is starting to get that move to the upside now. Again, can we hold 93.8? That's really the question. Before we go look at Bitcoin or the charts, I would like to look at Bookmap. This shows you where there is the most liquidity at in the markets. As I was saying, you see more liquidity up here at 100K than you do down here. I mean, you have some at 98,000. And then if you look to the downside, you have a lot at 85K. You have some at 89.5 and a very little bit at 93K. There's more liquidity to the upside than to the downside. So it's most likely that we get the move to the upside. Usually price goes to where there is the most liquidity in the market. And right now, at least on Bookmap, it's looking like there's the most liquidity at $100,000. That's just what it's looking like right now. So I'm going to add this bookmark to my favorites because I think it's a good indicator to use. This YouTube channel is called OTL Signals, but if you just search Bitcoin Bookmap Live, you'll find this, and this is very helpful in my opinion to see what's going on in the market. So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know and we'll look at them. But yeah, let's go look at Bitcoin and see if we can hold 93.8. It's really trying. You got the move up to approximately 95.2, $1,000 higher than where we are right now. You got immediately dumped down. It is the weekend, so there is more sideways price action than normal. Bitcoin had a flag here, started to get the move to the upside. Then you have another flag, another falling wedge. And this one has a measured move of $98,200. Hence, there's liquidity at 98K. If you ask me how I got that measured move, let me go full screen and I will show you. You can measure move from taking it from the last local low to the last local high, and that will give you a measure move of approximately 98.2. So that's where people have a lot of sell orders. So I would say that would be a target to the upside if Bitcoin can hold this level here at 93.8. I say $93,800. Why do I say that? Well, that was your last local low. And really, actually, if I zoom in even more, maybe you should even say 93.7. But Bitcoin did not lose 93.8, at least on this chart. It did not lose $93,800. You went down to 822. So if you lose that level, that'd be bearish, especially after you got to move above 95K. So if you got move $1,500 lower, to me at that point, I want to be out of the trade. I did open up this trade on the 4-hour time frame, but again, if I get stopped out here, I'd still be in profits on the trade. So we'll see what happens. But I really would love to see him move to at least 98K before I end up getting out. But I am long on Bitcoin right now if we stay above 93.8. The second that loses it, I'm out. I'm also long on Bitcoin right now because, again, Bitcoin has made a higher low, oversold on the RSI, above the 200, even above the 21. It's always very bullish when the blue line, the 21-day moving averages, comes up into price action while price action gets a very small move to the downside or goes sideways. For the 4-hour time frame, for Bitcoin to be oversold right now and not giving much of the gains back, that's very good. The 21 is coming to price action. So I would love to see Bitcoin get the bounce here and hold 93.8. If it can do that, that would be great. So I see very strong support at the level of 93.8. If you hold that level, you'd be flipping support or resistance into support. It was resistance right here. You got rejected, came down to 91.5. 91.5 turned into support, and now you're trying to hold 93.8 as support. Can we do it? That's the question. We'll find out probably in the next 12 hours. If we lose 93.8, then it's over. If we hold that level, I see a move coming to 96.4, but most likely to 98K would be the next level to watch out for on Bitcoin. So that's really what I see going on. That's the key level to watch. If this, then that. If you hold 93.8, we can be good. If not, it's time to probably be out of your longs. That's not financial advice. That's just what I'm doing. The 4-hour time frame looks good for a move to the upside based on everything I've seen. Above the 21, above the 200, oversold RSI, and you have a falling wedge. Those are 3 or 4 reasons to be long. Now, if we jump down the 15-minute time frame, it looks really sketchy. It's kind of struggling. The half hour is oversold. It's just not looking beautiful. 1 hour is trying to make a higher low. It again struggling. 2 hour trying to get the move up, rolled over. 4 hour kind of the same thing. 6 hour didn't get any move up. So again, I see a move coming to the upside, but Bitcoin must hold $93,800. So that's kind of where I stand with Bitcoin. If you lose 93.8, then I wouldn't really want to be long on any altcoins. If you can hold 93.8 and get a bounce, then it's time to be long and looking for longs in altcoins. So we'll see what happens, but that's really the price level I'd watch. And again, Bitcoin, or Bookmap, I should say, has more liquidity up at 98K, which is my first target to the upside. So that's what I see going on. Bitcoin looks very good to me, at least on the higher time frames. Again, the 15-minute time frame, really about to lose a 15-minute 200. That's not a good sign. So it is, I'd be a little bit cautious here at the 10-minute loss to 200 as well. The half hour, the half hour 200 is at $93,600. So again, that's right below that 93.8 level. So we'll see what happens, but that's where I stand. That's the level I'd watch is $93,800 going into tonight, into tomorrow morning, into Sunday morning. And that's my line in the sand. So with that being said, I'm only in a Bitcoin long right now. I'm not in any other trade. So I would love this trade to play out, but that's where I stand. And we can look at altcoins now based on that information. So there's a lot of altcoins to me right now. It gives me more hope for Bitcoin when you see altcoins starting to rip. So we'll see what happens. Pengu is getting a move to the upside. This is a new token called House Token, which looks like it just pumped massively. So we'll see what happens. House is a new one on the exchange I use. It's on Weeks. It's also apparently on MXC. So again, it's up 16% today since in the last few hours. So again, these are coins I'd be watching. House is apparently a hot token as well. So we'll see what happens. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know and I'll look at them. But to me, House looks like it's about to rip. I'm not going to buy that, but it is something to have on your radar. As far as I'm aware, it's a pretty new token, and I don't know what it is. I just see that it looks, it was a falling wedge. You got the move up, and I didn't call that, but that was a falling wedge. And you got the move to the upside, and the measure move has not been hit yet. So the measure move is about 9 cents. You still have another 17% to go up. I'd be chasing to get in now, but I do see that as a possible move. Thank you for the likes on TikTok. I appreciate it. What's it going to be roughly around the end of the week? Well, I can't predict the future. I wish I could. If I could predict the future below stake, I'd be a multimillionaire. I'd be a multi-billionaire. Correction is coming. We'll see. So we'll see what happens. But that's kind of what I see going on. I just covered Bitcoin. So I don't know why I would go back to it. We were just on Bitcoin for like the first, not that long, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. So let me see what else is pumping. Trolls was a new one from this week. And Trolls, to me, it's like, I don't know. Not lovely. You were all the way at 30, then you went down to 11. It's very volatile. And to be honest with you, now the 50-minute time frame on Trolls has made a higher low. I would not do more than one. I would only do 1x leverage on this because it's so volatile. Right now, you're sitting at the level of 15.3. Measure move is 21.1. That is a possible long on Trolls. I'll post this to my trading group, and we'll see what happens. So this is a possible long on Trolls. Can't type. So we'll see what happens, but to me, that's the most likely scenario. Trolls gets a move to the upside. A lot of altcoins look like they do want to continue higher. If that happens, that obviously means Bitcoin's probably pumping, or altcoin season is starting. Maybe it means both. So Trump token also looks like you get the move to $18. We'll see what happens. What about SWF? Appreciate Sebastian if you hit the like, and then let me go look at that really quick. Okay, you did. Never mind. So SWFTC. Let's go look at Swift for Sebastian. Let me go look at that. So Sebastian, on my other computer I'm watching, it doesn't show the I don't know. It doesn't matter, I guess. So let's look. Let me start on the weekly time frame for Sebastian, and we'll see. So weekly time frame for SWFTC. It's been a long time since I've looked at this because recently I have been doing yellow for my support and resistance, not red. I don't know, I just like that better. But to me right now, you had resistance at 14.3. You're flipping that. Now your next stop, really, I mean, maybe you had a little here at 17.3, but I don't see much resistance at this point on the weekly time frame, at least for a while. Weekly is oversold. And honestly, this altcoin is probably likely to go on a tear. You have to understand now the 3-day is overbought, but it's trying to flag out. And again, price action is very close to, or the 21 is very close to price action, indicating even though you overbought, you can still get a parabolic move to the upside. Your measure move would take you above that resistance at 2.5 cents. Can you get the move? Can you get the move? That's the ultimate question. The daily time frame right now is looking like you want to continue flying out and getting that move to the upside. So we'll see what happens. But to me right now, SWFTC looks likely for a move up to about 25. The 12-hour time frame is overbought. But again, at the top of the flag, maybe fill out the rest of the flag, come down a little bit, and then go sideways for a few days. 8 hours, same thing. 4-hour time frame. Kind of went close to the bottom of the flag. To me, at this point, I could see more sideways price action until another 24 hours of sideways price action, and then I'd be looking for a big breakout, probably early. Oh wait, this is May 21st. That's another few weeks of sideways price action. I don't know if it takes that long to play out. That's a little ridiculous in my opinion. We'll see what happens. 1 hour time frame is overbought. I don't think it takes that long. I think it's going to break out sometime in the next 24 hours. That's a rounded bottom, and then maybe you see some kind of cup and handle, get a flag here, and then pump to the upside. But to me, I predict, based on that rounded bottom, that maybe you make some kind of flag, make a cup and handle, but your measure move is 17.3. If you break 17.3, I'd be looking for 25 on SWFTC. It actually does look good to me for a possible long entry. I can't tell you where to enter, but I will say that 14 is support for right now, and I see 17.3 as resistance. So do with that information as you wish. 14 is support. Right below 14 is support, or right around 14 is support. 1.4 cents, otherwise known as, and that's what I'm looking at. Let me look at the 15-minute time frame. I mean, the 15 is above the 200, so to me at this point, if you can hold for 1.4 cents, I'd be looking for a long on SWFTC. And if you're just looking at the 4-hour time frame, you're still above the 200. So technically, you could be bullish on SWFTC. I would say if you can hold this local low here at 1.22 cents. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, though, the smaller time frames look good above 1.4 cents on this token. I don't know anything about it, but that's just my quick TA on SWFTC. You're welcome. Thank you for the request. And that's what I see going on for SWFTC. Bitcoin bouncing, and I wanted to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I just went over Bitcoin. If you hold 93.8, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm long on Bitcoin, and there's nothing else to go over. It's really simple tonight. If you hold a key level, I see more upside. TYVM, is that a coin? TYVM. Or is that like a saying? I don't know. But yeah, so let me see. I want to go through the altcoins and see if there's anything else. Oh, I did buy silver on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe it was Wednesday. I really don't remember anymore. Maybe it was earlier this week, and maybe it was Monday. It was under a week ago. I think I bought Monday. Yeah, it was like last week. 4-hour time frame on silver oversold. I see a pump coming sometime Monday through sometime end of this week. I see a new high for silver. We'll see what happens. And I believe gold, I think silver's going to start outperforming gold for the next few weeks. Silver has a measure move, nothing crazy, but it does have a measure move of 34.50. And that says that sometime, probably by next week at this time, we could be at $34 for silver. That's only $1 higher. So to me, that doesn't get me that excited. But, silver is kind of a slow mover. So that's kind of lackluster. See what silver looks like. What does gold look like? Yeah, so gold's getting a little bit close to being overbought here on the 4-hour, making a lower high. So to me, at this point, gold must break 33.90. Otherwise, it's kind of bearish for gold. So we'll see what happens. But gold right now, it's also at 30. If you don't break 33.90, gold might be done for a while, and then again, silver can outperform it. I did want to look at Tesla as well. Let me go look at Tesla really quickly. Tesla right now, to me, Tesla's still in a no trade zone. You have this head and shoulders. It broke back down. And then you made a double bottom on Tesla, and then you made a higher low. And at this point, Tesla's a very close to actually changing the trend to the upside. And if you can do this, if you can break basically we'll call it 296, but even $300, if you break that resistance, it's like fun. Hold on. If you can break 297 on Tesla, they get a higher high, and then make a higher low above 215, that'd be a trend reversal on Tesla. And then maybe sometime in a week or two, you could be looking for a long on Tesla. So to me, I'd be watching for this. But if Tesla does not break at least above 295 or 296, to me, it's still bearish. And that'd just be like another triple top. So we'll see what happens. Right now, Tesla's most definitely range bound between 215 and basically 296, 297. So that's kind of what we got going on. I would say it's range bound between 215 and 294, 295. Either way, around that range. And yeah, that's what I see on Tesla. If Tesla breaks 300, I mean, I would be watching that like a hawk. So, and then I'd be watching if it breaks 300, I'd be watching for a higher low at 215. If that happens, then you could finally have a long setup. I got out of this, probably 3 months ago, and I haven't found a good entry on the 4 or 5 hour time frame yet. So Tesla's something to watch going into next week. If you can break 300, if you can't break 300, it would basically be a triple top. So that is my update for Tesla. I'll look at that again probably after Monday. But for right now, it just doesn't look fantastic on Tesla. So if you guys have requests for other altcoins, let me know. I don't know, man. Ethereum was also going to the upside this week. So let me go over to Ethereum. Ethereum, I had that as being a bear flag. So obviously that didn't play out. And I'd be cautious here on Ethereum because this could be a rising wedge that could break you back to the downside. But if these do break up, they break out parabolically, and that would get you about to 2150 on Ethereum. So, that's the bullish scenario. The bear scenario is you come back down to the support around 1575. So I'd watch Ethereum here, but to me, I wouldn't be longing this. It just doesn't make sense to me to long that. It just doesn't. That was a descending triangle. You could even say it's a bear flag, and it broke to the upside. So that happens about 32% of the time. But by the books, that should have broken down. Maybe it breaks down now, but and this could be a stop hunt. We'll see. It could be a stop hunt on the 4 hour time frame for Ethereum. I'm still not convinced that we're getting a move up here. I will say it's a very good sign that you're above the 200. Anytime you're above the 200, I don't like to short. So to me, this is a no trade zone on Ethereum. I would not trade Ethereum right now. I'd wait for the 4 hour time frame to get oversold again because it's kind of a lackluster move to the upside here. If it gets oversold and you're above 1730, I would be looking for long. If you're below 1730, and Ethereum gets overbought on the RSI, I'd be looking for a short. So to me right now, Ethereum is a no trade zone, but Ethereum is something to have on your radar because it has been moving nicely the last 24 hours. And Ethereum is up 12% on the week, so that is also always a good sign. So that's something that I watch. Guys, I'll be back live Monday at 11 p.m. Central Time. I just want to do a quick update. I'll do at least one more request, but I don't see anything else right now. So and I don't see any other altcoins that are really getting a lot of a move to the upside. What is this one? Hopper? Oh, Hopper did, but that's kind of a low liquidity coin. None of the top ones are getting much love. Let me delete that from my list because there's no chart anymore. They delisted that token for whatever reason. Peak is getting annihilated. How much is Peak down? Peak is down in 3 months, 63%. The last time I traded it was at 44 cents. Now we're at 11 or 13 cents. Yikes, that's crazy. Yeah. And Peak is well below the, no, Peak is not below the 200. Never mind. Yeah, I don't see any other, I don't, Render's really struggling. That's another one that's really struggling. Although you're above the 200 now, Render could have reversed as well. I want to watch Peak more closely. I think it could be getting hot. Bitcoin dominance right now, what is that looking like? Yeah. Bitcoin dominance looks like it might want to rip here, but it's kind of, why is there no data on my chart? There you go. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance is in like a bull flag here, falling. You know, I would say that's a bull flag, and Bitcoin dominance. This basically suggests that Bitcoin's about to go on a tear to the upside and kind of outperform altcoins once again. Right now, it's already at 64%, and if you get above 65%, that's getting crazy. Altcoin season gets, I'm sorry, Bitcoin season really gets going when it's above 70%. Altcoin season doesn't really start until you're below 30% on below 40% on Bitcoin dominance. And so that's a lot. You're 25% away from that right now. So I would, based on this chart, based on Bitcoin dominance chart, I'd be looking for a big breakout of Bitcoin sometime this weekend or next week. So Bitcoin dominance looks bullish for Bitcoin. Bitcoin chart looks bullish, and then Bitcoin has a lot more liquidity to the upside than to the downside. All three of these suggest Bitcoin gets a big move in the next 48 hours, sometime Monday probably, if not sooner. So we'll see what happens, but I'll be watching Bitcoin for a big breakout in the next 48 hours. I'll be back live on Monday, 11 p.m. Central Time. I believe by Monday, Bitcoin will be holding 95K as support and maybe even touch 98K by Monday. In the next 48 hours, I predict Bitcoin will be between 95 and 98K. That's a $3,000 range, but that's basically suggesting I see a big, at least a $1,000 move coming for Bitcoin in the next 48 hours, which isn't that crazy, but it is the weekend, so it's a little crazier. We'll see what happens, but I'm looking for. I'd be pretty surprised in 48 hours if Bitcoin is below 93.8. I really would be. Maybe tonight you hit it. I hope not, but maybe you do. But if you break that level to the downside, I think that's the less likely scenario. So what about Solana? Well, Solana on the 4-hour time frame is above the 200. The trend is your friend until the end. Right now, the trend is up on Solana. You don't want to lose a 21, that's for sure on Solana. Let me look at the smaller time frames. 1-hour time frame is kind of struggling, about to lose a 200. 33-minute loss of 200, but that's probably about to get the bounce if you look at the RSI. The 50-minute time frame is a lackluster bounce. That's good. Yeah. The fact that 4-hour time frame is oversold, though, gives me hope that Solana can bounce here. I'm more bullish macro term on Solana than Ethereum. I am. So I would be looking for this. Keep it simple. If this, then that. Solana is above the 4-hour 200. If you're above the 4-hour 200, I would look. Are we above it on the 6-hour time frame? You are. Are you above it on the 8-hour time frame? You are. On the 12-hour time frame, you're not above the 200. It's most likely that Solana, if you stay above the 200 on the 8-hour or even on the 4-hour, that you pump up to the 200 on the 12, which is at 163. I would be pretty surprised if sometime in the next 48 hours, Solana doesn't get a move to 163. And I'd be, if you can hold this level here at 143, I see 163 coming. If you hit 163, your next target's 181. Just going off moving averages, if you break that, then that's probably from then on you'd have to look at support and resistance, because I believe if once you get above the daily 200, you'd be above the other 200-day moving averages for a while. So if you break 181, your next target to the upside would be 268 and then 295. Solana to me is bullish. Going back to the 4-hour time frame, as long as you can hold this level here at 144. If you lose 144, you could probably get a pretty quick move back down to support at 112 because you'd be breaking down and losing this higher low here. So Solana looks good for a move if you can hold 144. If not, it's kind of, in my opinion, not a good situation. It looks really sketchy if you look at the 50-minute time frame, but if you're only trading the 4-hour time frame, it looks decent. I'm trying to only trade the higher time frames from now on because maybe not forever, but at least for the next month or so, because I've made more money when I swing trade than when I day trade. It's just I overtrade when I want to day trade. So if my rule is only to trade the 4-hour time frame, then it's harder for me to overtrade. It just is. What do you think about buying BNB? Appreciate the biz. If you hit the like, and then I can look at those coins for you. Appreciate it. So, what do I think about BNB? I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it. I can look at the chart if you want me to, but BNB. Oh, BNB means I have no idea. I don't know about that. I can look at AM token if you would like me to. So yeah, I don't know about that though. I've never ever traded anything besides Ethereum and Solana memes. And so I would never go back to trading Ethereum memes because of the high gas fees. I just would not do that. So thank you for the likes on TikTok. I appreciate it. I know NPC token? I have heard about NPC token. You think we'll get a big rally this week with the trade deal announcements? Well, I'll be blunt with you. I'm not gonna lie. I have not heard about that. But I will go look at NPC token. Is this what we want? Not. I think I looked at this the other day, but this doesn't look like the right chart. Maybe it's a different token I'm thinking of because this chart doesn't look familiar. I don't know. Yeah, this chart doesn't look familiar. You're above the 200 on the 4-hour. That's a really good sign. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. So you're above the 200 on the 4-hour time frame. So that's a good sign. You have resistance, I would say, at 2.8 cents. I would say you have resistance at 2 cents as well. So local low down here at half a penny. I would be looking. You're above the 200. Are you above the 200 on the 6-hour time frame? You are. Are you above it on the 8-hour? You are. Are you above it on the 12-hour? You are. Are you above it on the daily? No. So if the 12-hour is above the 200, if you stay above 1.275 cents, the next stop would be the daily 200, coming in at around 2.2 cents. That'll come down maybe a little bit. The 2-day probably doesn't have the 200 yet, does it? No. So really, yeah, the next target I'd be looking for, if you stay above 1.2 cents, 1.3 cents, I'd be looking for 2.2, 2.1 cents to be the next target. And you have to understand you at least have resistance at 2 cents. So actually, I would say this: if you stay above let me go back to the 12-hour. If you stay above this level, 1.25, I'd be looking for a move up to 2 cents and then up to 2.2 on NPC token. That's just what I'd be looking for on NPC token. If Bitcoin runs 95K to 98K, what do you see Cardano, Link, and XRP running to? Well, they'd probably all follow Bitcoin. I haven't looked at XRP in a long time. I will look at that though. Yeah, XRP is struggling, right? You're below the resistance at 220. So your next stop is $1.94. I will say you're above the 200 though. You have to reclaim 220. You're oversold on the RSI. So to me, it's no man's land. You're above the 200, but you're right below resistance. You're oversold. So I would personally not long this until you break 220. If you break 220, I would take a breakout trade at 240. It's a little riskier. You could enter now, but it's looking like chop to me on XRP. So to me, XRP looks a little sketchy to me on that 4-hour. For 4-hour on a Cardano, kind of the same situation. You have a little resistance at 73 cents. You're above the 200. You're oversold. Same situation. To me, that's a no trade zone because you have to break that resistance. If you can break, and it's kind of choppy. It doesn't look beautiful. That's not like really a flag I'd want to play. It's kind of choppy, a lot of wicks. I mean, I wouldn't trade that. That's a low chance trade to win. And then you said Link. If you want more in-depth analysis on each one, then I guess, let me know. But otherwise, this is just some quick TA. The 4-hour on Link actually looks interesting, but I'd worry that is this a rounded top? But I would say of the 3 tokens you just suggested, Link looks the best of the 3. Like that's a flag. It's not a beautiful flag, but it is a flag. The other ones really don't have flags. That would take you straight to the resistance at 1747. If I did play any of the 3, it'd be Link by a long shot. The other 2 look they look questionable at best. So we'll see what happens. But Link looks like the most probable to get a move up. And we will see. But that is my scenario. And then again, this is actually an okay trade setup. I'll post this to my group. If you can hold 1440, I'd be looking for a move up to 1747 with oversold RSI above the 200. Is a 6-hour above the 200? My guess is it is. The 8-hour, is it above the 200? Barely. Is the 12-hour above it? No. So really, if you hold 1440, at least look for 1670, which is the 12-hour 200, and then the daily 200 would be the next target right below that resistance at 1747, coming in at 1737. So to me, this is actually a really good setup. So thank you for that. Link long, and I do like this setup. Am I taking this trade? No, I'm in my Bitcoin long, and that's all I'm going to be in. It's the weekend, but that looks good. And then my stop loss, like I said, would be 1440. You could have it slightly higher, but that looks like a good trade setup on Chainlink. With that being said, guys, that's all I got. Appreciate it if you guys hit the like and subscribe. Also, you guys, on Monday, 11 p.m. Central Time for my next live stream. Right now, the trend is up. The trend is your friend until the end. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace and have a great night. Cheers and adios.